Welcome to Chai After Dark, everyone. I am Sameem.
And I'm Shabnam, and today we're covering Deli Boys episodes 8 through 10 on Hulu.
That's right. We are at the season finale. This is some cold-ass shit, man. I feel like we went back 20 years to Fremont, California, and we arrived at that wedding in the Deli Boys.
Yeah, it's literally, we know what restaurants we're talking about. Shout out Johnny, literally giving me those vibes in this show. So
it's just kind of crazy because that Trojan horse, I'm pretty sure they have that at Johnny, or they had it at Afghan Palace or something. And we've literally made these remarks before in the past, and now we watch Deli Boys, and it's the same thing. And I didn't know there was
where
a
they
wedding
do have
scene
it
coming up.
I know, neither. I was pretty surprised by that too, but they definitely have it at PF Chang's. That's what that horse reminded me of.
That's probably where they got it from.
Yeah.
But like we said on the previous episode, we think one of these writers is from the Bay Area, so maybe he jacked that
No, we
horse
don't
from
think.
Johnny.
We know.
Did
and
we
we've
verify
seen
that?
him in his underwear too. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, he was the gangster as well, actor. But I don't know, dude. Why are we getting triggered from Deli Boys season 1, episodes 8 through 10? Triggered is a strong word. I would say reminiscing.
Triggered, yeah, I would. I'm not triggered. It's just more like hilarious and reminiscing.
Exactly.
And there was so many culturally funny like nuggets in here that I hope that everybody appreciates, but I appreciate, and I'm sure you appreciate even more than, the average person. But yeah, it was really fun, especially as the later episodes came on.
Oh, completely. I think the wedding scene was the most, like, when he yells, sorry, I'm going to jump ahead all the way to the end. When he yells, I'm in the family now.
Yeah.
Every South Asian was just like, oh my God, can I ever have that moment? And I'm not being specific about what family, right? I'm talking about in-laws. Mostly.
Yeah. No, I know.
But yeah, I this guy went through it, or whoever the writer was or creator of it, he probably went through everything we went through.
100%. Because I know one of him and I saw him at weddings before. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. So whatever. I don't know what we're talking about. I guess I don't understand how we're watching a Pakistani auntie and uncle like decimate and murder and pillage West Philly. And then we're like, oh, this seems really relatable to me.
I know, right?
You know what? I think you told me this. There was a racketeering operation of South Asian descent out of Berkeley, California in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I think that dude get arrested for racketeering. So this isn't that far off.
Yeah, but I don't think that was for drugs. I'm pretty
sure. Oh, I know.
It was
I didn't want to say it. You say it.
Yeah, I think it was for sex trafficking.
Yeah, it was like human trafficking, right?
Yeah,
he owned a bunch of apartment buildings and then ABC apartment buildings. Like these people, man, with their corny names and hiding rackets behind them. But I don't know. This shit was hilarious, though. It was.
Yeah.
And it got
totally
way
hilarious.
funnier. It also got like kind of serious, too. Raj got all serious from 8 to 10.
I mean, I don't know that I would have said this when we first started this, but I could really see this getting a second season. I want it to get a second season. I want to see more of it and have the story progress. So I'm actually really excited for it. I feel like it's definitely a binge type of show. If we were to plan this again, I would definitely say we do it like in 2 parts instead of 3 parts.
Yeah. Well, now we're doing 3 parts, so we have more time today to run through some of these jokes, including the opening scene with Mercer and just coming in there, guns blazing. So
yeah, I don't even know the guy's name. I don't even know.
Spencer?
It's Mercer. Is it Spencer?
Mercer is the woman, right? Obviously.
Yeah, Mercer's the woman, and then the other one's just like the caricature of a white FBI guy.
Yeah,
But
8 through 10, Shabnam, Mercer, she becomes him, and he's like, no, we're a team. Don't make fun of Mercer, and he becomes redeemable. So hey, maybe white men in FBI that went to January 6th and wrote books about it are redeemable. So who knows? Hey, again, I'm not putting that out there. The show put that out there. So
yeah, exactly. You're the one that thought they were going to be able to flip her onto their side. So I guess we'll see. Maybe season 2.
Power begets power, right? So she's like, I need to act like a dumb white man as well. And then she's making mistake after mistake all through the rest of the episodes. And he's becoming like a Superman FBI agent, essentially. He's not getting beat up anymore outside Super Bowl parties,
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
what
but then
what are we doing here?
Yeah, but they both
suck.
They both suck. Yeah. So the episode starts out with the FBI barging in on the deal gone wrong between the Pho brothers and Raj and Mir. And so at the same time, they discover that Prairie has a wire, and everybody's like, oh my God, Prairie has a wire. So they all run out. Prairie and Raj start fighting, and then the FBI barges in. And right before they do, Prairie and Raj escape just in time. And so the next scene we see is like Mir praying to Allah in the ABC deli, like, please God, bring Raj home safely. And if you do, I won't ever lie except to my fiance, her whole family, and the IRS.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, dude. When was the first time you prayed to Allah? That you're
the
not
first
lie?
time? I don't remember.
I don't think you're not a 35-year-old adult, right? So you weren't a 35-year-old adult. You were 5.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah,
Before that, though, like Raj runs away from Prairie outside, and then typical scene. But he runs his scooter into the trash cans, and then he's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." This guy like reaches down and takes his scooter.
Yeah,
he just like takes it.
He thought the guy was going to help him.
Hey, great commentary on how humans don't help humans anymore. And what is it, that thing where you look outside the window and it was an experiment where unfortunately a woman was getting assaulted or robbed and nobody did anything? There's like a phenomenon behind it. It's not Stockholm syndrome, but it's something like that. So nobody helps anybody in big cities. It's like a verifiable fact.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
No, I know. Sorry. I mean, they put it out there. Poor Raj. Also, his face was all like bruised and shit the rest of the episode.
Yeah, the rest of the episode.
He fell on his back, so I don't know how he bruised up his face.
I was just going to say something really dark, but I don't know if I should.
Say
Okay, so last night, me and Brian, we went to go see David Nihill, Irish comedian, and his whole set is based around different books he read. And in one of the books, it talks about how they ask all these men, like, they give them a survey, like, is it okay to roofie someone? Is it okay to sleep with someone that's 12 years old? And they're like, no, no, no. And then they make them go masturbate and come back. And then a like really high percentage of them say yes.
What?
Yeah,
I don't
like basically when they're really horny, their judgments will change.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't need an experiment to know that. What do you think this patriarchy
That's what he
comes
said.
From?
That's what he said. He said like, and every woman in here is probably like, I don't need to read that book. I already know it.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
That was a side tangent.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us know that men have horny thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. So then Raj goes back to the deli. He like randomly just casually walks into the deli, and Lucky Auntie, Mir, and Ahmed are like so happy to see him. They were so worried. They thought he died. So Mir takes Raj upstairs to unwind and gives him ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And then Raj says he broke up with Prairie, his twin flame, because she's an informant for Mercer. And Mir gets so pissed. He's like, she was going to send us to jail. And while you would thrive in a cool gang of Muslim converts over literature, sports, and Sufism, I would be someone's chew toy. And I was like, that's actually really hilarious. The writing is pretty good in here.
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to Mr. Faraz dancing in his underwear.
I feel like Raj would thrive in prison. He would probably become like leader of the prison because he's so cool and chill. Everything would go through him, right? And he wouldn't even know that he's becoming the leader gang prison. He would just be like, what? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, Mir's totally right, dude. That guy wouldn't last 10 days in prison. Whatever.
Yeah. So they tell Ahmed and Lucky, and then Lucky and Ahmed are like, we want to end Prairie. And Raj is like, no, you can't. I'm in love with her. And Mir says no one pays attention to anything Prairie says after the third time she says chakra anyways. So they don't need to worry about her. But Lucky and Ahmed, they're still worried, but they let it go for now. So then they all tell the Maliks about Raj and Mir and Prairie, and the Maliks want to fire Raj and Mir, and they want to kill Prairie too. And so this Prairie issue is like not going away. So Prairie is with the FBI, and she tells them she lost the wire in a gang fight.
It's true.
I guess so. And Mercer wants to pin them all to the wall and fuck them with a pogo stick.
Yep. This is when she's transitioning into full white FBI man.
Yeah.
Like she gets all crazy and she's like humping the window.
Yeah. And so Prairie's in the interrogation room. Mercer comes out and she thinks that it's like a one-way mirror or whatever, like a two-way, whatever that thing is where like the police can see you, but you can't see the police. And she's like behind the window to the glass. She's like, we got you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And she's like doing all this stuff. And then Prairie like waves to her.
Yeah. And then that Spencer guy is like, yeah, she can see you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, watch this. And then he waves at her and she waves back. But then he's like, I like everything you're saying and how you're saying it. Because she was acting like him. I forgot that he had said that. So we just said that in the beginning of this episode. And he literally validates her. And he's like, thank you for becoming me. Now you are an FBI agent. You woman.
It's so
like, it was so stupid, dude. I'm a feminist. I'm sorry. Like, don't do that. Like, that's too much.
It's insane. It's
I
too
understand,
much.
too. Like, it's cool, though, like, that they call it out with such absurdity.
Yeah. So they go into the room where Prairie is, and they show her that the Coke is in the achar bottle. And they basically tell her she needs to find out details on distribution. And if she does, they'll go easy on Raj. So Lucky and Ahmed are like ready to call it quits. They're like, we need to basically be done with this whole operation. Like, we're totally screwed. And Mir's like, no, we need more time to figure it out. At the same time, Prairie runs into ABC Deli and she tells them the FBI is coming to get you, and Lucky's ready to kill her. And then Mir yells out, did you catch this? He's like, she's a bug. Make the bug the feature. And I'm these people grew up in Silicon Valley, like 100%. Like,
I can't believe it. Like, that's just such a Silicon Valley way of thinking. It's like taking a startup, whatever we fucked up, just take it. Make it a feature. Make it awesome. Yeah. You know, and that's probably why every negative aspect of Instagram, Facebook, whatever Meta owns is highlighted, right? Like the negative shit gets highlighted because we like jump into the bug. It's wild. You know?
Yeah, we embrace the bugs.
We embrace the bugs. Now we're all being spied on 24/7. So like, great. Yeah. I mean, that's Silicon Valley in a nutshell. Wow.
Yes. So basically what he's saying by that is he's like, don't kill Prairie. Let's basically use her to inform them of what we're doing in like the way we want them to, right? So Prairie goes back to the FBI and tells them that the distribution is from Pakora Palace. And so the FBI goes there, guns drawn, and says, show me the achar. And basically they make Mercer go through all the achar bottles in the back. And she's like smushing the achar with her gloves, and it's all just achar. Yeah. And then she turns around and she's like, there are no drugs in here. And Spencer, the white FBI agent man, he like sticks his finger in there and he tastes it. And he's like, pretty tasty. And then he starts coughing. It's like, so good. It's so good.
That's literally what we were saying when she says, show me the achar. And he's like, I got this. And he just repeats what she says. He's like, show me the achar. But he says achar in such a nice way. And everybody go back and listen to Bad Boy Billionaires, which is going to be released soon on our free feed. Shabnam points out that the CEO of Kingfisher Airlines, a white man, does an accent for the guy that owns Kingfisher Airlines, an Indian man. So cultural appropriation.
CEO of Southwest. Wasn't he the CEO of Southwest?
He was like, I don't know if he was the CEO of Southwest, but he was an executive with Southwest. He lived in Dallas. Or American Airlines. We don't actually know because both of them are based out of Dallas. But this was like no accent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He did one thing right. Chef's kiss.
He just said it very nicely. Achar.
Yeah.
Also, hey, let's just say it again. Achar is the best condiment in the world.
100%.
Why not? Like it's I only for certain foods. Not don't put it on everything.
Yeah. Hey, Kaka brand achar. If you want to sponsor us, let us know.
KAKA. Is that how you spell it or no?
I think it's CACA.
Lake Titicaca. Is that
exactly. Yeah. So then basically the whole force of white men start laughing at her, and that's kind of like how we end the scene. But
and that's
then
when that's when he's like, we work together as a team, and she's like staring at him lovingly. So I think that was a plot point and character development that fell off a cliff because I don't know if they were like supposed to hook up or what, but nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
But it is kind of strange. It just gets left there. She's like in admiration of him. And then at a certain point throughout the last 3 episodes, she does even say like, I look up to you or something like that. Like, I want to be you. So
doesn't it just feel like she's kind of desperate? Like when she was talking to Prairie in the car about how they don't invite her places and she sees it on Instagram. I think he's just kind of being nice to her. So she's like all about it.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, right? She wants her own career and she has to turn into and I think this was done intentionally, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about which characters we would want to change, but I don't know. You can't change her back into a male or a man, right? There's no way.
No, it wouldn't work then. It's funnier this way.
Yeah.
So then we see like the 3 separate screens within the screen of basically Lucky driving in a separate car, talking on a 3-way call with another car that has the brothers and Prairie in it, and then a third car that has Ahmed in it driving the drugs away. And so they're all excited because their plan worked. They took the drugs out the back, the jar bottles with the drugs, and they're all celebrating. And then Lucky says Prairie is going to go to the handler and she's going to get a new identity from a handler, and Lucky's like set all this up, and the brothers are all happy and they head to where they're supposed to meet the handler.
There was a bunch of jokes in those 3 scenes.
They said something about we fooled those white idiots or something like
exactly.
that.
They were so happy with themselves, and then Ahmed is like, does anybody else hate it that Mir is gloating? Because he's like the most annoying character, right? Mary, he's like gloating completely over the top, right? And
and Ahmed says that he has a minivan that he can use to carry the drugs because he needed to get a bigger car because Charlie, his boyfriend, had like a bicycle or something.
He's like he has dialysis, so I went from my Fiat to a minivan because now I think he has to put him in a wheelchair and open it like a paratransit vehicle, I think. So they're completely removing everything from ABC Deli, putting everything into Ahmed's minivan, and then they pull out Hamza's hand. That smells like Drakkar Noir. And then Raj is like, Murder Wallah, he has a point. If you're wearing Drakkar, I can't even say it. Drakkar Noir.
Drakkar
Noir.
Yeah. Not French.
I should never go to France after that.
Yeah.
Drakkar Noir, if you smell it, then there's most likely something coming, and that's how you hide a body. Then this episode ends, and then they end up at like a, what is it? Like a guy that helps you escape, disappear?
Yeah, like their handler, right? So they go to the handler, and Prairie gets out of the car, says goodbye, and Raj talks to Mir. He's like, do you think I should go with her? And Mir's like, no, you can't. Like, this is our life now. So he's like, okay, I'm going to give her one last hug. He goes and gives her a hug. And he smells Drakkar Noir on the handler, and he's like, oh, you're gonna kill her. And so he basically tells Prairie like, run, and then he like beats up the handler guy, and Mir takes him a while to realize that there's something going on because he's like dancing in the car. He finally gets his shit together, and Raj jumps in the car and they drive away, and they basically lose Prairie.
And then this guy's a hitman. It's obvious. And then he's like, oh shit, when Raj finds out that he's a hitman. But the first episode ends like that. So hey, we got some like shenanigans. I was like, okay, they're running away or they're driving away in the vehicles. And I kind of was like, okay, this is episode 8. So of course something's about to happen. They're about to get caught again, but they probably could have ended it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The wedding scene, that should have started season 2.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
That would have been, but they don't know if they have season 2, right? Like, there's no way, but like maybe there is, but like starting next year or whatever, with season 2 with Mir and Bushra getting married, and then a whole new season of shenanigans.
Yeah.
What if we just said that right now? We're like, hey, it's over, and we jingled out.
So then we have like episode 9, right? And episode 9 starts with Mir. He's in this dream sequence where he's Chief Saab, and he's like, everybody's kissing his hand.
He's the Godfather.
Like, he's like the Godfather, but he's Chief Saab. And so everyone's coming up to him, kisses his hand, and they're like, my mother's sick. And she gives him Advil for the guy's sick mom. And he wakes up, and it's this meeting he has with all of the Maliks and the Maliks of Darko. And he invites all the board of Darko to his wedding. So while Raj doesn't say a thing, he's like all excited for his wedding. And then when the virtual call ends, the Maliks on the board are basically like, we're going to kill these 2 idiots.
I know.
That's hilarious.
But they don't. By the way, these guys are like ridiculous, the Maliks.
Mm-hmm.
I know we keep talking about like Pakistanis and stuff that are wealthy or successful. There's a whole other shady ass class of South Asians, right? And that's what these Malik guys are. Nothing redeemable other than they try to pray so they can maybe get to heaven, right? So these 4 guys are hilarious. But I just want to point out, like, we're not all engineers and doctors and lawyers. We can't be.
Yeah.
It's just like there's not enough. 330 million people, 340 million people in Pakistan. We can't all be the same thing, right? I don't actually know there's not many people. I think it's 200 million. But these 4 guys represent, a whole other subsect of, my buddies.
Okay. The guys basically start getting ready for Mir's wedding. They are going shopping and stuff like that. And Raj is obviously still super pissed at Lucky. He like doesn't even want to talk to her. And Lucky goes and she meets with the assassin, gets her money back and like apologizes. And, you know, the hitman, he's like, your nephew caught on when he smelt Dorcar Noir. Murderwalla's got to change it up. It's good writing, I have to say.
Yeah.
And then Lucky, she finds out from the assassin that somebody put a hit on Baba. So now she starts kind of investigating and trying to figure it out, goes to the gym, beats up the guy, realizes it's not him. But that guy tells her it's a guy that's brown with hair on his like forefingers, right?
Middle four fingers, right?
Yeah, the middle. So she's like, okay, she's got to find like a brown hairy guy. And
that's going to be really easy.
I know. It's like, how do you narrow it down, right? So then we start to get to the wedding time. So Mir basically runs into the kitchen. He's like checking on the food. He's also freaked out about the whole like trying to get the money for the drug deal and everything. Bushra finds Mir and he tells her he was checking on the food. And then she tells him to rush back to the party to meet her cousins with similar names and faces. And Mir goes up to them and he's like, Salams, Faris, Waris, and Nargis. and in my mind, I got really self-conscious because one of my siblings changed their first name, but we had rhyming names for the longest time. And I'm like, oh my God, was this is like there? I know we're not the only family, but it's not that common, but Desis do it. But I was like, oh my God, was it my family?
I think it's everybody. We all had double E's in our names. And if it's not a double E, then it's an I, but it is all double E's.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Like one of my sister's names, it's with an I. Like my name, the Eam part of it. So yeah, all four of us have that sound. But that's a common name, right? Like to have two E's in there. But this shit's hilarious, man. It's or it's like Imran, Salman, like Kamran, the three most common names, right?
Burhan,
And I actually know like 7 families with those 3 brothers' names. Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
and then there's famous families in Pakistan that have those 3 brothers' names.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious. And then there's all these examples of other people too. But hey, he got it right. Warjish, Nargis, Schwarjish, and I forgot.
Haris, Faris, Waris, and Nargis.
Harris.
Yeah. So then in the party, Raj sees Lucky Auntie. He's not talking to her. He calls her Lucky, and she's like, "Oh, you're not even gonna call me Auntie." And then he takes the cash from her to pay for the drugs, and he gives it to Mir, right? So then they start doing all these little rituals, like the drinking of the milk, which I did the drinking of the milk at my engagement party, and I had to explain to Brian like what's gonna happen, and he was like, "Okay." So we're going to drink this milk. I was like, yeah. And then he's like, okay. So it was like really random for him, but he was a good sport. And then I think his parents get all horny over this and and she gets all uncomfortable. She's like, I don't want you guys to be like all romantic in front of me. And they're like, oh, we're so excited for you to drink the milk. And it's like, gross. I don't know.
None of this shit's real, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, how much money did you get and your family?
Oh, for the milk?
Yeah.
Well, this is... Yeah, so this is the thing. You don't pay for the milk. You pay for the shoe. So basically in the wedding, the girl side of the family somehow is supposed to steal the guy's shoe and then they're not he has to pay the money.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I remember now.
He has to pay the money to get it back. But but they did it for the milk, which was weird. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't want to do the shoe thing. They probably were like, it's going to be hard to explain.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense either. Yeah.
And then he like pulls out $100,000 and the Peruvians are after him and they're after like $1 million, right? So he's like, this is when Raj gets all serious. The character development arc gets like a little bit different. And Raj is just like, no, we can't do this. You can't be spending this much money. And then they start fighting about other stupid shit. And also, I've been waiting for Mir and Raj's fight. Because there's been no fighting for the first 8 episodes, and now all of a sudden there's got to be some sort of conflict, right, between 2 main characters. And their conflict is like the smallest conflict I've ever seen in a 10-episode series or miniseries or movie. It's literally 15 seconds long, but it's still there. So like you need it, that arc.
their conflict is literally about what dance song to do at the wedding, which is also very desi. Stupidest, smallest shit ever will ruin the life of the groom. He's like, this is the song I want to dance to. And then what did Mir call it? No, Raj, he was like basically not wanting to dance to Mundi at the Bachke because it's like...
In case anyone doesn't know what the song is, you'll know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that classic 2010. Yeah. No, it was even before that. It was like 2001.
No. The Knight Rider song.
Yeah.
And then Raj wants to sing Tanveen Singh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who that is, but he's like, no one wants to listen to that pretentious shit, Raj. So then they start fighting over that. And then it's just like so silly, but then they get onto
But
the
it's
dance
so
floor.
true.
It's
Isn't
true.
it so true?
I mean, yeah, it is true because I've gotten yelled at for not participating in Mendi dances. I don't think I've ever actually participated in a Mendi dance, and I've been asked several times, right? Including last year, I went to this wedding.
I think you did at Haldi Homas.
No, not like at a Mendi. Did I?
I think you did at Haldi Homas. Did you do something?
That was a while ago.
That's stuff. I'm just saying, I appreciated the nod of like the desi family drama.
Totally.
What song should we dance
but Shabnam's
to? It's
totally
like
correct.
The end of the world.
You do steal shoes, and you have to pay the bride's family so that they give the shoes back to the groom. That's the game. I think it might be cross culture, by the way. I think might be Iranian culture as well, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I think theirs is a knife. Like you take the knife to cut the cake, and then you have to pay to get it back. And then they do a knife dance like this.
Oh, interesting.
I know that because I married an Iranian person once.
Oh. Did they steal a knife?
60 episodes in, dropped that nugget. Yeah, and they stole the knife, and I had to pay to get it back to cut the cake. Cake wasn't very good either.
Like, I didn't tell Brian really about the shoe thing because I was not planning on doing it. And then my cousins just did it. And he was like, dude, I don't have cash. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, you can't do it like a random cultural thing to someone that doesn't know without me prepping him, you know? He was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
But you did the shoe thing too then, right?
Yeah, they took his shoe, but he was like playing along, but he was like, I have no idea what's going on. It was really bad.
Good for him.
Really
don't we all
crazy.
do that? Don't we play around with rituals if we marry cross culture? So that's everybody, right? So look, agree with diversifying the gene pool. So let's keep doing that.
Yeah. Well, Raj and Nandika don't diversify the gene pool. They're the same race, and they decide to smoke weed in the kitchen by the tables, which, dude, this is like so flashback to Fremont. You know, there's like more tables for another event on the other side of the kitchen. Like, that's exactly where you go to like take a break from the party.
What are you talking about? That's what you were doing? Smoking weed?
I wasn't smoking weed, but I was just, I don't know, hanging out there sometimes.
Man, as Muslims would say, Jesus Christ. Smoking weed. Hey, by the way, I'm not from Fremont, California, so I don't actually know what you're talking about. I think you guys were worse than we were in San Jose, California.
Okay, you can say that, but you have been to all the restaurants that I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's like a whole, it's like a dystopian, like a loading scene.
Me and
I know what you're
a
talking
couple
about.
of the girls from our friend group were invited to a wedding circa 20, I don't know, whatever it was, 17. And you were at another wedding next door and you crashed the same wedding we were at.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Hey, that was fun. Because the first wedding didn't have dancing. And the second wedding, somebody texted me and they said they had dancing. So I came to that one.
Yeah.
And I was dancing.
Yeah.
And Bride found out because just like 2 years ago, she's like, I know you crashed my wedding.
Oh, she did? Oh, that's funny.
But she said it in a very nice way. She's a nice person.
Yeah, and you didn't like come for the food or anything.
No, I didn't. I didn't steal shit. I came at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., danced.
Yeah.
You know, danced soberly with all y'all, and then we left. So it's all good.
Yeah. So Raj and Nandika smoke weed by the tables, by the kitchen. And she's like, I just agreed to marry you to get my parents off my back because they're like up my ass about meeting someone. Again, totally relatable. And then she says she has to leave to get her drunk ass parents home because she doesn't want them making out on the dance floor. And this is, I think, what you were talking about earlier, where that's not really realistic. But, you know, Hindus drink, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So I had the craziest experience. I went to one of my Indian friends' high school graduation parties, and her grandma in a sari was walking around with a beer, and it was like a little mind blowing to me because I was like, "Oh my god, my like Muslim grandma walking around in those clothes would not be having a beer." My brain was a little short circuiting, but everybody has their own customs, so it was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, now we know. Come on, if we saw brown people drinking, I don't think it would. Like now we know, like people drink. So yeah, but you're right. But like a Muslim wedding with this much involvement in alcohol, I think even if the family drank, they would keep it a little bit more discreet, even if there was drinking there, which I think times have changed. I think like in the 90s when we were going to older people's weddings when we were in high school, even if you drank, there was no alcohol, right? Yeah. Now I think like it's changing a little bit.
Well, the venue that I had my wedding at, they had it for sale, right? And that worked out because some people bought it.
Yeah. Yeah. But you didn't provide it, right?
So. Yeah. So, and then, Raj and Mir makeup. I don't know. So
within
random.
30 seconds. That's what I said. Character art. Come on. I know story writing, you need two people that have conflict, but this was the quickest conflict. But maybe that's the point. It's like they're two pretty,
Bill brothers. Yeah.
They're two brothers. They're super into each other. They lost their daddy. Twist coming with the dad, by the way. And so they're into each other. The funny thing is, like, when they start doing the dance, like, they start hitting the sticks together. And then he's like, I'm going to hit your dick. And then he, like, doesn't hit. So I thought it was going to turn into, like, this dope-ass dance scene. Like, they were going to keep trying to hit the sticks. And I was like, it turns into a dance scene. Then everyone starts clapping. But Raj goes off. He's like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. And then Mir starts dancing. And everyone's cheering. And Raj is like, man, my brother's so cool. And then everyone just falls in love again. And then they forget that Lucky Auntie tried to murder Prairie. And then Lucky's back in the family. So by the end of episode 9, everyone's, like, loving each other again. It was a quick episode. Like, we start the episode, they all hate each other. They're all trying to murder each other. And then by the end of the episode, they're like, no, we're cool. Literally, like, that's what happened. Like, it's the quickest up and down episode, like, of all time. And the episode is literally 20 minutes long. It's not even like 28 minutes.
You're totally right. It's kind of crazy. But quick. I think the only factor is that Mr. Lozano comes and he has like a Donald Trump style tan. And so they kind of surmise that he is the, like, this Italian guy with this hardcore tan. So he's the brown guy, and he with even has hair on his on his like forefingers too. Yeah. So I think they kind of band together against him. Yeah. And then
one more thing, one of the Maliks gets fucking killed in their limo when they're partying, the four of them. Yeah. Because they're invited to the wedding and they want to kill those little motherfuckers, as Shabnam said. Those little idiots. One of them gets jacked, right, by the Peruvians. So they're saying, pay us now. I know we're going to get into episode 10, and this is when the drug deal takes place, but it's like, it's a quick drug deal. Good thing that Horse was there. Good thing Mir went to Drexel. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come up with this plan. Good thing everybody was agreeable. Good thing there was alcohol, so nothing else could happen. Nobody could, like, find out because they weren't sober. So, everything went their way.
Yeah,
these two little
totally.
shitheads.
Well, episode 10 starts off with the police coming and trying to, like, basically barge in on their event. And then Raj's like, you wouldn't do this to a white person, would you? And the police is like, no, I wouldn't. I would.
I would.
Do it.
No, I wouldn't.
Like,
no, I think I would. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
He's basically like, you got me, I'm racist. Like, that's literally at the end of it. But the police go there because of a dead body, right?
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah.
One of the Maliks. I don't know which Malik, but he gets... Did he get hit by a golf ball, by the way? Is that what happened? How did he get killed? Because they show his body 3 or 4 times, and I still don't know how he got killed.
All I know is the note, I think, was like pushed into him with a golf tee, right? Because there was a note on his body, and they used a golf tee like a push pin. But I think he was like shot.
Well, it's the golf guy that you referenced in the previous episode, the one that Lucky fucks up, and they find out it was a hit, right? So we think it's Mr. Lasagna, but it's not. So
Yeah, exactly. So the Maliks are like fighting to do all the coke, and then one Malik is like praying because he thinks they're gonna die.
We just said that. It's like, Jesus, like, I don't know. So he wasn't doing the coke though. Two of the Maliks were coking it up. Yeah. And then
one strategy before death was prayer.
Yeah. And then Mir is like, can anyone just put their personal trauma aside for a second? That's not what he says, but he says something like that. He's like, can we all put our personal issues aside and figure this out? And they're like railing coke. And he's like, you want to do something? You want to do something? I've never done coke. And after that scene, and also many other Hollywood scenes that I've seen, I don't think I would ever do it or try it. Like, it just seems awful.
I think your energy is high enough to where you don't need any coke.
What are you talking about?
But basically Mir says, you guys, let's use my wedding as a front for the drug deal. And then one of the Malik, he's like, I'm going to leave for Pakistan and this is just way too haram for me. And he goes and he's like, I'm going to go to Lahore.
He's like, Lahore, bro.
Yeah. So crazy.
I haven't been to Lahore since 1997. I haven't. But I heard Lahore's not that great in terms of being like, pious.
Oh,
they're not that religious. You can find trouble there as well.
Oh, you can find trouble a lot of places. You can find trouble like almost everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you know how, Shabnam, I was telling you this morning that I went out last night,
Yeah.
And then somebody like super random asked me where I was from and I said Pakistan. And they're like, what's the drink of choice in Pakistan? And I was like, oh, dry ass country. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ruafsa.
Man.
But then I explained to them that there was alcohol in Pakistan. It was a secular country for a little bit. I mean, I don't know if it's a secular country, but there was
people
a
still
drink
there. Yeah, people. I think there is. It's just like not as open, right? So basically, then Mir comes up this whole plan. They're gonna mark gift bags with the drugs in it and give those gift bags to special guests that are gonna take the drugs out. And then they're also gonna put the money in this horse because it's like a part of our culture to the groom to ride out on a horse at the end of the wedding.
Is that part of our culture?
A fake horse. Yeah.
You came in on a horse?
I didn't do it. I'm not. You know what I think? I think it's Punjabi thing. I think Punjabis are all about those animals,
I came in on a wrecking ball.
I came in on a wrecking ball.
And then Raj is like, isn't that where they put like stuff in the horse? I don't know what was in there. And then Lucky and Mir were like, they were Trojans. Trojans were in the Trojan horse. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. So they stick all the money in the horse and this is their whole plan. And finally, after like they decide this plan, they're all good to go. And everybody, like you said, everybody is getting along. Then Lucky Auntie tells Ahmed Uncle that someone put a hit on Baba and his death wasn't an accident. And they put together, they're like, it's got to be chicky lasagna based on the fact that he's now brown because he got a fucking tan and the middle of his knuckles are really hairy.
Yeah. And then Matthew was like, if they would let me, I would kill you. He's like staring at it. The white guy. The white guy turns all murderous, by the way. Talk about a character arc. Like this guy just by the end of episode 10, he's like he's like their hitman. Like he completely breaks bad. Yeah, but he wants revenge for Baba so bad and he wants to kill him so bad. And it's hilarious that he's like such a sweet little child, but he's like, if I could kill you, I would. And he's like staring right at Mr. Lasagna.
Yeah.
Mr. Lozano, but you know what I mean, lasagna.
Yeah, exactly. So Bushra gets super pissed because she figures out that her soon-to-be husband, Mir, is using the wedding as a cover for this drug deal. And she's like, I had to tell my mom that the coke was a bath bomb. And then he's like, this is my world. Are you joining me or not? And she's like, goodbye, Mir. And so then they're like not getting married, but they still have to do the drug deal, and the wedding was like a front for the drug deal. So what do? In comes Nandika and her mom to the rescue, and Nandika goes, anything we can do to help? And they decide that Raj and Nandika should get married instead. And Ahmed Uncle officiates, and then he goes, we are gathered here to witness an age-old tradition of rolling the dice and seeing how they fall. It was so good. All these scenes were so good. Yeah. It was like so funny.
I mean, Ahmed's he's ordained now, right? Like he was getting ordained, but man, I wish he brought his boyfriend or whatever. But his boyfriend's dying, it sounds like. But it would have been hilarious if they like show randomly this old white dude, this twink or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's not old actually. He's a twink, so he's younger, but he's like dying due to dialysis.
No, Ahmed's the twink. Ahmed's the twink.
Is Ahmed the twink?
Yeah, remember? Ahmed's a twink. That was from like the first few episodes. So that's why this man is like, Ahmed's like 70 or whatever. So this guy's like 90 or whatever. Yeah.
This is ridiculous, man. Like, they should have brought this old man out.
Yeah. So then the Peruvians come and they get them the money from the horse and they like count it. The Peruvian kingpin's like flipping outside of the truck, flipping back into the truck. You'll hear from me when the time's right. And like, it's like, okay, it's like really random, like so campy, but also like surprisingly entertaining. I kind of enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Dude came out of nowhere, right? Like the Peruvians, yeah, because they've been referencing the Peruvians the entire time, and they haven't like shown anyone, right? Because they showed the Pho brothers first. So finally, this guy comes out flipping, and then the backflip back into the truck was like the most like awful editing I've ever seen. But I think it was. I think you're right. It was meant to be super campy and kitschy.
Yeah.
So you could tell it was just so fake. All they did was reverse it, right? Like and it was so bad.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. So then Lucky and Ahmed decide they're going to confront Chicky. So Ahmed follows Chicky into the bathroom, and I didn't get this. Chicky's like, my name is actually Chicken Giuseppe Lozano. And then Ahmed's like, you're going down for Baba's murder. But then Ahmed actually confesses because Chicky's like, I didn't do it. And then Ahmed confesses and he's like, but you're going down for the murder. But Matthew,
there we go,
the GC turned hitman, comes out of the stall and he starts fighting with Ahmed. And he's like, I knew it was you because I saw you go in for laser hair removal when I was going to get my eyebrows threaded.
So ridiculous. I know. Look, I get it, man. I'm not Harry.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it, but everyone I know is Harry. So to put knuckle hair on this guy and then basically Ahmed, I guess he is a twink because he's getting waxed. So
yeah.
But this guy, Matthew, just comes in. He's like, I'm going to blow you away. And then let's be real. Ahmed's the worst killer of all time, right?
Yeah.
He's the worst fucking killer of all time. Like I thought he was supposed to be a badass.
Chicky. Yeah, he shoots Chicky, and like Chicky doesn't fully die, and then he shoots. Doesn't he shoot Matthew?
He shoots Matthew as well. Yeah, and then but he's supposed to kill him, right? But then then I noticed I was like, okay, he didn't kill Matthew, so we know what happens at the end. But still, it was like pretty funny. I mean, I would have been kind of pissed if Matthew died because that guy's awesome.
Yeah. So then we see a scene where Raj and Mir are basically talking, and you know, Raj ends up marrying Nandika, and so they're congratulating him, and then he's like, I'm gonna get out of the business now, like this is my last deal. And then he's like, I'm just gonna, you know, take some college classes and have weird sex with my wife after getting to know her, of course. I'm like,
of course, you know, you don't want to, you know, you gotta get to know people before you sleep with them, okay?
Yeah, you got to get to know people before you sleep with them, but you don't really need to get to know them to marry them.
Yeah. And, you know, everything's backwards, dude. It's not even South Asian culture. I'm not going to talk about this shit, but people are pretty inefficient in their getting to know people stages.
Oh, yeah. I know. But I don't know. Can you really get to know someone? I feel like...
No, dude, you got to just make a fucking choice and do it or don't do it. And some people get lucky and some people don't. So all this shit about finding the one, sorry, I'm not jaded. I'm just real.
Yeah,
I know you're married to a beautiful man. Sorry, I'm not. I'm not talking to you.
No, what I was gonna say is like I feel like no amount of trying to get to know my husband could have prepared us for like just random ass life shit that's happened in the last few years.
Yeah, what's the correlation? You know somebody deep who gives a shit because when you need them for something, they might not do it, right? So
yeah, exactly.
What's the difference? Yeah. Like you want to get to know someone so you can sign half your life away and have joint expenses. I don't understand the correlation. Sorry, I'm not shitting on marriage. I'm just kind of shitting on people in general.
So, but what are you saying, that there's no purpose for marriage because you can never know, or
not everyone's the one. There's no world where there's enough efficiency in dating where you can know that who you married is the one because you don't know everyone. Or you only know what you know about yourself, right? So if you know somebody, you probably don't. Because if someone's lived 40 years, how can you know every single fucking thing about them? There's no way. I can't even remember shit that I did when I was 21, right? So all I'm saying is like it's an active choice, right?
Yeah.
It's just an active choice. That's all I'm saying. So Raj and Nadika, he actively was like, look, I was with Prairie. I didn't know you were this cool. Granted, we've only been smoking weed for 30 seconds, but that was good enough for him. And it was an active choice for them to get married. And now watching them on stage telling each other how hot they were or
their vows.
And their vows, like that was an active choice. And something like that is probably a lot better in terms of a marriage than actually knowing each other for 7 years, 12 years, moving in together, having a kid together, and then being like, hey, maybe let's get married. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, who's that, like, ridiculous that you need 14 years with someone before you need to get married? Like, I'm adding some years to the entire repertoire
courting
of someone's
process.
dating.
Yeah.
But, overall, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think like you never know what's going to happen in life, and you never know how like somebody's trials are going to affect them, or how
exactly
your trials are going to affect you. And so even if you get to know someone for 5 years and you think they're the perfect person, and then you get married to them, but that doesn't mean like some crazy shit's not going to happen in year 6 right after you guys got married. So I don't know. Life is just life, you know?
Yeah. And look, I've only been married twice, right? But that's enough times to know. First of all, it's a 0% success rate, right? So as much as I got to know people, you don't actually know them. You just don't. And I can be honest enough to say that they are probably saying the same thing about me. So
yeah. And I'm sure there's things I don't know about my husband, right? And I know there's things he doesn't necessarily know about me, but like, are they really important to the life we've lived together so far? I don't think so.
No.
You know, it's like also like how much can you tell someone like about like every weird thing that's happened to you in your life? Like, takes
that becomes
years
a
to like
trauma dump.
Exactly.
So what's the point of that? Like that, I've been subject to that as well. So I don't know, man. Overall, I am more supportive of this Raj and Nadika union than I thought I would be because A, it helped them out, and B, I do think like if there's a certain like aspect of your energy or character and you're pretty similar. It was already obvious they were going to get married, by the way. Like, we knew that Mir wasn't going to marry Bushra. Like, there was no way that was going to happen. And, they have a certain energy. I'm just saying that seems a little bit more relevant in terms of getting married than people that know each other forever. Because you can pick someone that you know and you don't know them because they're lying to you the whole time. So, what the fuck? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, then basically Ahmed rushes out of the bathroom and he sees that the FBI's there. They've got their guns out, Mercer and Spencer. I'm just going to call him Spencer. I don't even know if that's his real name. And
I like how your notes say annoying man, FBI agent.
Yeah.
That's how you characterized him in our notes.
Exactly.
Go.
So the brothers and Lucky Auntie and Ahmed Uncle all have their hands up. They're talking to the FBI agents. They're like, we got a warrant an hour ago. And then Cheeky comes out of the bathroom shot and he's like about to fall over dead, and he lets them know Ahmed killed Baba and got laser hair removal. And then the brothers and Lucky get pissed. Right then, a whole bunch of other FBI agents come in and basically nullify Mercer and Spencer. They're like, we got a real warrant, but that warrant's only been active for 30 seconds. So you guys are rogue agents, and they take them away. And then Lucky and the brothers look around and Ahmed's gone. And they're like, where's Ahmed? And Ahmed's nowhere to be found. And the FBI basically leaves them because
they're like, we can't do anything. Like,
they can't do anything.
Yeah, right. Like, like this would happen, by the way. No, dude, FBI would be like, who cares? We got you, bitches. Like,
yeah,
like, they
exactly.
Wouldn't just leave. Like,
on a technicality.
Them. Yeah. Also, the hilarious part is Raj is literally choking out Ahmed when the rest of the FBI runs in. So they're like watching them about to murder Ahmed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were going to do.
They're like,
Raj was
oh, we can't do anything.
I'm going to kill him. He's like, I'm going to kill him. And then they're like, oh shit, we can't do anything. Caught you red-handed, but they were hilarious, by the way, as waiters.
Yeah.
Like Spencer and Mercer, they were fake waiters. So let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
The weddings that we talk about in Fremont and stuff, those waiters are always like, that's how it is. They're bringing you like jugs of either Sprite or Coke.
Or watered
or
down.
water.
Yeah.
And it's super watered down. And that's pretty much all they do. And then you're barely done with your plate and they show up and they're like, can I take this? I was like, no, man. I'm still sucking on these bones from all this meat. By the way, can we chill out on the grease and the meat at some of these South Asian weddings? Like, I'm in
seriously.
What the fuck?
But
dude?
not the bones. I love the bones.
The bones are
and
great.
Brian,
yeah, something.
Brian
nice,
always
light.
makes fun of me. He's like, "Why do you guys like meat with bones?" I'm like, you know, I like some bones.
Yeah, because we don't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why we dance a lot too, because we got to dance all that grease off and all that meat off. Everyone's got the meat sweats.
That's why we have a lot of diabetes and heart disease.
Yeah.
Too.
Hey, start putting some salmon fillets on the menu. Come on.
Yeah. So anyway, so then what happens? Oh, Chicky's in a coma. So then Nick tries to take charge of Chicky Lozano's organization. And he's like, you should know I'm in charge.
Y-O-U-S. Use.
Yeah. Yeah, you should know I'm in charge. And then Lucky comes in and takes over, and she's like, girl power, bitches. She's like, Gigi gave me authority. Yeah. And then she basically takes over Lozano's organization.
Girl power.
And then, Raj is basically all like criminal minds over finding Ahmed, and he's like doing all his detective work. And then Mir says they're thriving, so he should let things go and just chill out, like it's whatever, right? But they walk outside of the deli for lunch, and the deli blows up.
Boom.
And that's a wrap on season 1.
Yeah.
So I never thought I'd say this, but I would totally watch a season 2.
Like a season 2 with Ahmed as a kingpin of another enterprise. Yeah. And there's a lot of characters here that don't even get enough play, right? Like Tan France and stuff. So there's plenty of characters to bring back. There could be a lot of shit going on in season 2. I think the one thing that I would say about season 2, if there is a season 2, what do you do with the South Asian stuff, right? Another wedding? No, come on, that's lame. So you'd have to bring in a whole new class of jokes, like Drexel and all that shit, business major, like all that's done, right?
I think they could do it. Like they could do, well, like Nandika and Raj getting married. Like
that's a whole new problem.
They're like first year of,
yeah.
Or what if Prairie comes back and then,
or Raj could be like a super religious man, like he gets all religious. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. And he has a kid and gets religious.
He has a kid and gets all religious, just like everybody I know.
Okay, so we're going to start doing a thing called tea time, okay? Mm-hmm. And so in tea time, which is going to be the last few minutes of the episode, we're going to talk a little bit of tea, like background about the episode, and we're going to basically rename the episode for what we would name it, because we realized we've been like not really paying attention to episode names, so we might as well just like rename them.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to rename each and every one of these 3 episodes, but I have something for all 3 of these episodes if it was like one episode.
What is it?
Cocaine Arranged Marriage Switcheroo.
That's like a real life thing.
Yeah.
It's a super literal name.
Yeah, it is. Super literal. I'm a literal person.
Yeah. Let's see. You want me to come up with a name off the top, right?
Sure, if you want to. Or we can talk a little bit about the tea and then
here's some
get
tea.
Into it.
I tried to slide into Porno's DMs.
Oh,
I don't think it worked.
I tried to slide into Tan France's DMs.
It's a different kind of slide, okay?
Yeah, it's a different kind of slide.
Yeah, it's a different kind of slide. So, yeah, that's my tea. What's yours?
So like South by Southwest, all these guys were there. They had these really cool Deli Boys food trucks. They did a panel also with our girl Yasmin. Shout out Yasmin. Go back and listen to that episode if you guys haven't. Yasmin Al-Hadi, matchmaker from Muslim Matchmaker. We did an interview with her. And so they did all this press there. They were like stars at South by Southwest. And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, to get that kind of representation and for Yasmin to be on Muslim Matchmaker, which was on Hulu, and for Asif Ali and Sagar Sheikh to be on Deli Boys on Hulu, it's quite an achievement. So I was glad to see all that on my Instagram feed, all that South by Southwest stuff. I've been there a lot, and I've never seen representation like that. So that's great.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Cool. Well, that's Deli Boy Shabnam.
Yep, that's a wrap.
That's cool. I liked it because I was not triggered. And I think I only used the word triggered once or twice in these 3.
Yeah, I liked it. It was almost therapeutic because it makes fun of some of the stuff that we're thinking of. It did make me crave achar. Like, I'm definitely going to buy some achar the next time I go to the Indian store.
Everyone get some achar. Get it with some good food.
Yep.
Don't get it with some bullshit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
mix
everyone.
it in with some hot steaming rice and
I'm about to have a hot steaming evening with some Chai After Dark. Follow us on all socials, and we'll be releasing a new White Lotus episode on Tuesday, so check that out as well. Thank you, everyone. As always, if you want to email chaiafterdark@chaiafterdark.com, you know we're going to respond.
And rate us. Give us 5 stars only, please. Don't hurt our feelings.
Yeah.
Head over to Apple to give us those 5 stars. Write us a little review. We want to know what you think. Tell us, do you like us? Don't tell us what you don't like. Just tell us what you like and give us 5 stars. We'll figure out what you don't like.
Don't say good, not great.
Yeah.
Because we already know that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We're working on our excellence.
Yeah. We're going to get there. Thank you, everyone. We're about to jingle out of here. Thanks, Shabnam. Cocaine!